Hello and welcome back to Not Another Leeds podcast with me, Danny, the Grinch of this podcast. Today I am joined by another third, which is James. Hello, James. How are you?
Bonjour, mate. I'm good. I'm good. Looking forward to tomorrow.
Good, good. And we have a debutante, a special guest. It's Max from Leeds Lately. How are we, sir?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm good. Yeah, looking forward to getting into this. Big game tomorrow. But we will try not to think about it too much because otherwise we might have a breakdown.
Oh no, trust me, I have enough breakdowns for enough Leeds fans. Don't worry about that. For those of you watching or listening, you might notice the eagle-eyed amongst you that we're missing a certain Kevin. He can't be here this week because he's away working. Where's he working, James?
He's actually in Barbados, rearing baby seagulls.
Barbados.
Been one over there, yeah. So
Nice.
Barbados.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
of him to
Kev,
do that, isn't it? Yeah.
I know,
keep
yeah.
that
Well,
seagull business
especially
going.
Yeah.
he was doing a Spandau Ballet tribute act last week, James.
Yeah, that was last week, though, wasn't it? Yeah, last
He
week.
gets around, doesn't he? He gets
He was in a
around.
Spandau Ballet tribute band. Yeah, he does, mate. Gets around a lot. So
Right.
to him.
So, well, first of all, welcome, Max. You say that you're looking forward to it. I'll ask you again at the end when absolute chaos has
Well, I won't be looking
ensued.
forward to it then, will I? Because it's over.
Well, you've got a full head of hair now. Just wait till the end of it. You've pulled it all out when you're talking to us two.
Danny collects it
Right
after.
then.
Sticks it
Yeah,
on
I
his
do.
own
Yeah, I have to. I just basically stick glue on top of my head and I do a head slide across the barber shop after. That's why I grow it this. I shave it off. Anyway, I'm digressing. Chaos ensues. Yeah. So, yeah. Come on. I'm just talking to my. Right. I'm sorry. I've got a sponsor, Max. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. It's producer in me here. Everybody knows. But okay. Fine. Do you know? No Christmas bonus. This one was alluded to a couple of weeks ago. It's part of a Christmas series. So they paid me money. So let's roll the VT.
The elf who learned to stay on his feet. Enjoy this children's classic this Christmas, because miracles, they can happen.
Miracles do happen. Now, this is part of a series. Is that something you're interested in, James? A book series? No?
Not with him in it, no. Won't stand up on my shelf, will it?
Do you know these adverts? Anyway, Max, is this something? Would you like to read that to you?
Oh, it sounds great. Yeah, might be a bit American for me, but yeah, sounds all right. Yeah,
I'm sure if you show it to your dog, if you've got a dog, have you got a cat, a dog?
A dog, yeah.
Well, your dog might understand it.
Yeah,
like a good
or he'll bite your face off. Or he'll bite your face off for reading it to him. That's what I like.
Yeah, it is a bit rough. Thank you. Right, let's get into it then. I did warn you, Max. I did warn you before coming on.
I'm just gutted I didn't make that joke first, to be honest, because they're usually the terrible dad jokes I make.
Oh, mate.
Perfect for this show.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, I've just lost 3 followers for that joke. So commentary.
Come on, you're just chasing your tail here now.
Oh, do you know?
Let's get back to Leeds.
No, this is podcast, by the way. Right, so that's
Christmas. He's frozen.
I'm back. I'm sorry, the internet is rubbish where I live.
You've thawed out now.
Sleigh.
Come on, mate.
Yeah, Santa's sleigh
We're
is over.
walking in
Anti-detection device. Sorry. We'll talk about Coventry. Max, going into the game, were you overall positive?
Yeah, before kickoff, I kind of thought there's potential to get something out of the game, and we probably should. But then I don't know. I go into every game thinking that we might not win it. I just have a bad feeling, and when we do, I'm surprised. And if we don't, I can say I told you so. So before kickoff, I was kind of thinking it's very doable to get a win. But when we got into it, I was a bit like, the more and more chances we missed, the more I was like, feel like it's not going to happen for us today. It's kind of how it panned out at the end.
Yeah, it does seem to be like a common theme for myself personally. I don't know if you agree that it's chance missed, chance missed, chance missed, concede a goal, chance missed, chance
Yeah.
missed. It seems to be the common theme lately. Do you agree, James? Or might shall I just shut up and move to Driglington?
About this game and the game before, but we were on a 7-game unbeaten run, man, and we won 6 of them. So let's just take it as it comes. We're gonna have little bumps in the road, aren't we? It's what we do. So I'm sure we'll pick it back up tomorrow when we're playing old Ipswichy or Ipswich. Very confident.
Very good,
The
David.
the old tractor botherers. I just don't know what's so attractive about a tractor. Attractive.
Oh,
Just made that up.
attractive, yeah.
Sometimes it just comes to me. Yeah. So I know you're positive, James. You're more positive than most COVID tests. But surely, did you see anything? Just give me a negative from the game because you never give me.
We didn't win it. We didn't win it. We should have.
That's a fair one. I want to know. Give me another, a non-obvious one.
We concede on 2 little chances against.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about that goal then, Max. What's your opinion on that goal? I mean,
On the
too
goal that
easy,
we
wasn't it?
conceded.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, apparently they don't put the ball in the box enough, and they don't cross it in that much. And the one time that their centre back Thomas, he decided he went on a run, didn't he, up the middle of the pitch, and he decided, I'm just going to keep on going. Popped up at the back post. And that's the only time where they thought, there's a big lad in the box. We'll chuck it in there. And that's the only time they crossed it into the box and they scored off it. So it's just one of those things, and it's sod's law. And I think, I was going to say Bielsa then. I don't think Farke probably had prepared for that too much because it's not something that they usually do is cross balls into the box and especially get the centre back to be the one at the back post. And I think it was almost a bit of an individual thing for him to just go, I'm just going to go for this, and just went, hold on. I'm just going to stay up here. There's a bit of a spot here at the back post. Boosh! And then he's just put it in the back of the net, and you're like, So I don't know. It's upsetting to concede a goal like that, but one of those things is a bit.
Yeah, mate, especially in the manner as well, when it's in between, it's just in between the 2 defenders as well. It's just, what was it? I think it was Strike, wasn't it? Just in front of him. And it's just that fraction of there, and he's just left. It's gone down. Whoever, I think it was Archie Gray behind him, should be calling Strike for that. And me personally, I mean, I just play the game. That's it. I don't know any defensive tactics or all like that. But I've seen people blaming Melier for that. James, he's not at fault, is he?
No, I mean it's just that it was just a hit and hope ball into the box. He found himself taller than the defenders. He can see Gray and Strout there. Maybe he thinks they're going to deal with it, but just a bollocks goal like we concede all season. So it is what it is. I don't really blame anyone individually.
I think people tend to just blame Melier anyway. There's like a certain crowd of Leeds fans who have just got it in their head that there's no room for him to recover from what's been not really his fault over the last couple of seasons, because the defense in front of him has been so bad. But people have got it in their heads now, I think, that he can't come back from this, and they'll just never trust him again. And I think every time a goal goes in, they blame it on him. But it's not always his fault. No. In fact, it rarely is. I think he's been good this season.
He has literally clawed us out of trouble, like with the Leicester one and the other one that he did against, I can't remember. It
was an incredible save against Sunderland.
Yeah, just on his back foot as well. I mean, it's like what Joe says. People, the agenda will agenda and all that kind of stuff.
The thing is with Melier as well, he did concede a lot of goals, but he did make the most saves as well in the Premier League. So he was doing something. I mean,
just shows the sheer amounts of shots he was facing as well, doesn't it?
Exactly. Just people don't really see that.
When most of them teams that we played in the Premier League they had Moses on their team, because our defence just went and just parted.
I thought you were about Victor Moses then. I was thought he's not playing in the Premier League still, is he?
Do you know what? He'd probably do a job in that team though, wouldn't he? Yeah. Old Moses. I just think that we need to be more aggressive. Do you think, Max? Like just more aggressive football from Leeds. Sometimes it looks lethargic and tired, especially like second half performances. Would you agree? Or shall I just shut up?
No, I think it's sure. You're right, and it depends. Sometimes it's because we've purposely slowed down because we're in the lead. Sometimes we just have that. I don't even know what it is. We just kind of slow down and the tempo slows down. It's hard to get back up to speed again. And myself and Jer have been saying this for weeks and weeks, that our key problem is we can't keep the tempo up. And the faster we move the ball, the less time opposition teams, excuse me, have to react. The quicker you can move the ball up the pitch. And we tend to slow things down and just sort of move from side to side, and it slows everything down. And then it's so hard to get back into that rhythm again once you've done that. And that's been our problem in a couple of games this season. And yeah, I mean, when you're talking about being aggressive as well, you've got players like that. These days you get two types of keeper. You get a keeper who's aggressive, comes and wins the ball, punches it, claims it, but they're not very good at playing out with their feet. Or you get a keeper who's really good at playing out with their feet, really good reflexes like Meslier, but then he's not a confident keeper in terms of claiming the ball and coming out and being aggressive and commanding the penalty area. You used to get, like, I know obviously I've been doing that Dream Team series. People all talk about Nigel Martin being able to do both. I think it's very rare you find a keeper who can do both these days. And Meslier is certainly, for me, in that second category where he's very good, but he's not a commanding presence, and that can hinder us sometimes in defensive situations.
Just on Meslier then, Max, do you think can you see the difference from actually what having the coach that we had through, like with Marcus Abad to Wootton? Can you see a difference in Meslier?
I think that what I'm talking about has improved slightly this season. I think I've seen him come out and claim and punch a lot more clock crosses than he would have done previously. So I think there is that level to him that maybe Wootton is just saying, just push out for it a little bit more, push the ball out, go and claim the ball. And maybe he has done that a little bit more, but then in certain situations, I think he's still sort of reverting to type and staying on his line. And then that's when somebody can come and win a header over the top of a defender, and it's just in then. There's no chance for him.
Yeah, I think Dave's got a point here. Like, they are scapegoats in this order: Hooper, Ayling, Meslier, and that is very evident on X, or Twitter as it used to be called. I think that is, but I won't say much about them because I will get hounded and I will get just not death threats. I best not say that.
You did.
I've done it now. I've done it now anyway. So, oh yeah. Well, what are you going to do? Say bad words? Oof, God, I don't help myself. Yeah. So, would you agree with what Max has just said, James?
Yeah, I mean, again, we have to caveat the fact that he's not as involved as he has been in the last few seasons. So he spends a lot of the time doing nothing. So he needs. It's about alertness as well for him, as well, being alert for the 90 minutes of the game. So when he can react better when the balls are coming into the box. I think his distribution's got a lot better, because I think keepers nowadays, they're almost sort of trained to be like another centre back when in possession and sort of do that sweepery game. And I think he's got better at that as well. I think his passes are becoming a bit more clinical. But yeah, I do agree with because he's such a big lad, and I think if he just maybe bulked up a little bit, he'd just run through people. No one wouldn't want to get in his way. But
he's so tall as well, isn't he? He can definitely, above pretty much any defender in the division, he's going to be able to jump and catch it or punch it, because he's that tall and he's got the length of his arm reach as well as it's not like he's going for a header with them, is it? So he has the limbs, he has the limit
Daddy long legs
to go and get it.
Legs, isn't he?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that scene in Space Jam where Michael Jordan's got a really long arm and he's about to dunk it in. That's what Meslier is, basically. Is that what you just said, Max?
Yeah, pretty much.
Confirm. Yeah. Space Jam 3, Mellier's Ascent. Speaking of clinical then, Somerville, Max, what a baller, mate. He's having a right season, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's for certain players, it's been good that they got relegated, and I think Somerville's one of them, because he's able to have this season to massively build his confidence. It's come at the right time in his career. It's kind of the perfect storm for players like Jorginho, for players like Somerville, Dan James. I think pretty much all of our attack, to be honest, it's come at the right time, because in their development, in their career, this is a chance for them to, after a terrible season, really build their confidence back up. And Somerville is thriving on that, because he'll think, I'm one, like when you're in the Premier League, he knows he's not anywhere near one of the best players in the division. But when he's in the Championship, he can say to himself, look, I'm one of the best players in this division, and I've got it in me to just run at you, and I'll take you on, and I'll score, and I'll be great on the counter attack. And I think he's doing really, really well. And it's helped actually having a coach who plans our attacks rather than just saying,
charge.
yeah.
The flying V, get the flying V.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the flying V is the secret tactic that Leeds have in their back pocket. I'm sure, honestly, it would work. Can you imagine just Millie at the front, just charging like that? Sacre bleu! You know what I mean? Just going straight at it. But yeah, did you think, James? Do you think Perot had a bit of a quiet game?
I didn't. I ain't watched it, mate. To be honest with you, so I didn't hear much of him, so I couldn't give you a heads up on how he played. But I think he goes through these little lulls, don't he? And then he'll pop up and he'll bag a few goals. So hopefully tomorrow's the game where he does that. I mean, he got a really easy goal against these last time, so hopefully they'll give him another one. So.
Well, hopefully it doesn't go to 4-3. I think we've won 4-3 last time, didn't we?
Yeah.
We conceded right at the death. But I just hope it's an easy 15-0 to us. Yeah, an easy 15-0 to us, I think. We'll talk about that in due course. So overall, Max, what's your takeaway from the Coventry game, mate? Apart from we should have won.
Yeah, it's just about being more clinical. It's about when our chances arrive, we've just got to have that level of concentration to actually put them in the back of the net, because I feel like players are getting ahead of themselves a bit and thinking, oh, I've already scored this. They just need to make sure that they're not getting complacent in the fact that they're creating all these chances. They're not going to create those chances for 90 minutes, because at some point a team is going to have a period where they get on top. And no matter who you're playing, they at least have a 5 or 10 minute period where they get on top. And usually we concede in that time. So we need to have scored 1 or 2 goals before that, because obviously we're quite an attacking team. So we do leave gaps. There is a chance to get at us. So basically, I just want us to be more clinical, take some chances before we start to give away. And then it's not the end of the world if the other team goes up and scores, because we know that we're going to sacrifice to some defensive stability to be as good as we are in the attack. So just score, put the ball in the net is basically my takeaway.
It's as simple as that, mate. I mean,
yeah.
When you talk about being clinical, I would like Rutter's composure to be better. And I'm not saying he's rubbish. He's just raw potential at the minute, and we can see his limit. Well, you can see his sky high. But I think that if he had his just a bit more composure. I mean, this might be a wild take to some people. I just feel like sometimes he's too cocky. You know what I mean? He can be cocky. That's just me. You know what I mean? I'm just a fat Luke Vardy who plays Saturday football. Do you know what I mean? It's just that his touch is great. He's whatever his name is. I said Jamie Vardy, but I'm not that good looking.
You combined 2 players there, Luke Vardy.
I know, yeah. Fucking hell.
That is you. You are Luke Vardy.
Luke Vardy. What's in this fucking? Anyway, this is a podcast. Please like and subscribe. We won't get very far with my, hosting, but
with Luke Vardy over
the thought that counts. 5 people have unsubscribed. Oh, great. What did I say? Yeah. Anyway. But I think sometimes he can be too cocky. Like I thought he got lucky against Blackburn when he tried to do that little fancy twist flick thing, and the player knocked it in front of him and he got an assist. I did think he just got lucky there. But do you think he's obviously still learning in the Championship, Max? But do you agree with what I just said, or should I just shut up and just move on?
I do agree. I do agree, because we're yet to see what we've seen of him. Like when we signed him, everybody instantly Jorginho Rutter highlights, and you go on YouTube and have a look and see what some of the goals that he scored. And some of the goals he scored from Hoffenheim, he'd like cutting off the wing and really powerful strike across the goalkeeper into the top corner. I'm yet to see him strike the ball like that for Leeds. It seems to be that he gets in front of goal and it's a bit of a P roller that the goalkeeper can just scoop up and is like, oh, thanks for that one, mate. Or it's where he blazes it into the crowd. And the key word is composure. You bob on, because he's very composed in terms of passing it and picking a pass and finding the right man. But in front of goal, it's like, it's Dan James syndrome. It's literally Dan James syndrome of going, oh, I'm in front of goal now. And then just couldn't hit a barn door with a banjo.
You bring up a good point there, Max, because Matt Leeds here Thanks for the comment, mate. DJ, how has he been playing? I thought he was going to score that chance at the end, and it boils down to composure as well. He's deer in the headlights, and I think the defender's just done enough to put him off. But James, my grandma could have scored that, and she's got no legs.
I don't really know what happened with that chance, because at first I was doing my live watch along and he missed it and he just completely sliced it almost to the corner flag from just outside the 6-yard box. And I went, what's he done there? And then I looked at it and I was like, as the defender kicked it away, what? And then I looked at it and I don't think the defender really got a touch on it. So I don't understand how he could possibly have done that. I've been backing him all season saying, well, obviously he's got a load of goals and assists. So I've been pretty right, but just that moment, I just thought, what are you doing? I genuinely think I would have scored that. You put me in that position, the ball drops to me there. I genuinely think I put it in the bottom corner.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I
Luke Vardy would know.
Yeah. Luke Vardy would have buried that. Honestly, you don't get Luke Vardy missing chances like that, whoever he is. You know what I mean? And he's only got one arm. No. Yeah. Anyway, after the season that Dan James is having, James, you'd think he'd buried that, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. But he didn't, did he? It's one of them. It's like he's been pretty consistent all season. Same with Rattay. Yeah, he should be more clinical. He should be scoring some of the chances that he's getting, but his creativity is levels above anything in this league. And while he's doing that, I'll take him missing a couple of chances here and there, because we're still scoring a lot of goals, and it's getting like Somerville, Perot, Dan James. He scored a few himself, so keep it up, mate. But yeah, he does need to score some of these chances, man.
I think Beckford just needs to have a word with him, because he had a word with Dan James, and then Dan James started bagging goals, didn't he? He just said, take a breath, pick your spot, and just aim for it. And I think maybe if he has a word with Jorginho as well, yeah, he might start bagging.
You know what they need? Luke Vardy.
Luke Vardy's the boy.
Good grassroots hero.
Not that these professional footballers need a word from another professional footballer before they start scoring goals.
Yeah.
I meant to say
just be a little bit better, mate. All right, then sound.
No. Anyway, that rounds up Coventry. We should have won. Pissed off for the consume. So we're going to test your knowledge now, Max, and the people watching. Sorry, audio listeners. Later on, you've missed out. So what we have to do now, boys, it's called All Smart Aren't We? And what we do is a quick photo will come up, and I want you to. Their faces are blocked out, and I want you to try and guess who these players are.
Is it just first to say?
No. I'll ask you, and I want everyone in the comments as well. So it's going to come up now. I'll give you 5 seconds. Have a good look. Here it is. Who are these players? They're well renowned, and who do you think they are? So obviously it was a while ago. Ooh. So who do you think they are? I'll come to you first, Max. Who do you think it is?
Is it Maldini on the left?
I can't tell you. You've got to guess.
I'm thinking Maldini on the left. I spent my time focusing on that and didn't really look at the right.
I'll pop it up again. You've got 2 seconds. Everyone in the comments, I want to see what you think as well. So you think Maldini left, and who do you think that is on the right?
Oh.
Bonus points if you guess the referee's name. I don't know it. I'll just assume that you're right. But
John.
Go,
John
James.
The Italian.
Me.
Well, I'll give
think that. I think that's Roy Walker and Michaela Strachan. That's what I think it is.
Right. That's a very good guess. Very good guess. Who do you think it is on the right, Max?
I honestly have no idea.
I'll give you one last look. I want everyone to write down in the comments as well. Don't make me say it again, or else say it again.
Luke Vardy's asking. Come on.
Luke Vardy's asking. So who do you think that is on the right?
Man's taking a picture of the referee's back. You see it?
I'm gonna have to pass on the one on the right, but I think it's Maldini on the left. Not got a clue.
Right. Okay. Well, brothers. I can reveal that they're brothers, and they've been on our screens for quite some time. It's the Chuckle Brothers.
I was going to say that. Oh my god. I was going to say it.
It's the Chuckle Brothers.
I was going to fucking say it.
Everybody knows they were. Everybody was saying. Everybody knows that they were rivals, fierce rivals.
They were.
Is it? Barrio and Paolo, aren't they, from the Italian Serie A?
Yeah.
That is no, it's the Chuckle Brothers, mate.
It's not just them. It's actually them. To me.
I'll
to
tell you after. I'll tell you
me.
after.
No, I was joking. I do know the Chuckle Brothers.
Maybe before your time. That makes me feel really old.
No, it's
That's
not
true.
before my time. I watched the Chuckle Brothers. I used to hate the Chuckle Brothers. You know, like
Did you?
I used to, when I was watching it as a little kid, I used to get bad anxiety thinking they're going to get caught. They're going to get caught. I hate this. They drop a big chandelier and I'm like, the people are coming back. They're going to get caught. Oh, I hated it.
What do you mean to me? To you?
Yeah, I never got into
So
that.
yeah, so that is no winners this week again. I'm gonna have to
Gonna
start
say it,
making
man.
it a bit easy.
I was gonna say Barry Chuckle as well.
I knew if I said brothers, you'd have said them too. So that's why I didn't say anything until you guessed. So unlucky. Maybe next week. There was Maldini and Vialli. Dave, I think you're right. I can't remember. It was Chuckle Brothers actually. So going on to a bit of news, Max. I did tell you it was random. I do apologise. So we've had some links this week. I've only seen one. Tanaka. What's your thoughts on Tanaka, Max? You know more about him than I do.
I liked him when we were linked with him in the summer, but obviously he got injured, and that kind of stopped the deal. And I would have taken him over Gruev, and we've kind of seen that Gruev hasn't really got any game time. So and to me that suggests that Farke's brought. I'm worried about Gruev because we spent 5 million on him, and we've brought him in, and I'm worried because Farke has managed in the Bundesliga. He's seen Gruev play, he's liked him, he's brought him in, and yet he doesn't trust him to play him. And that to me is a bit worrying. Tanaka would have been my first choice over Gruev at the time. So if we bring Tanaka in, yes, he'll do a good job in deputizing for Ampadu when he's being rested, or Kamara when he's being rested. But for me, where does that leave Gruev? Because when you're in the Championship and you have only a certain amount of money you can lose over the couple of seasons of profit and sustainability rules, 5 million is a lot of money in that. And so it's like, hold on a sec, we might have wasted a lot of money there, and we're having to buy in January already to replace him. So I'm a little bit worried about that one, but I think Tanaka would be a good signing for us.
Let's just hope it's not a Gruev mistake. That's right, baby. Hunt City. Population, you lot.
I think he just needs to get in the groove, and then he'll be all right.
Oh, Max, welcome to the Chaos Club. Welcome. We've sucked him in, everyone. Not off, in. James, what do you think? What do you think about Gruev, mate? What you've seen, all 8 minutes of him.
I haven't seen much of him. I don't know. I think it's a case of he's got his team, that he wants to play, and they're playing well. They ain't really doing much to lose their positions. I think he's done okay in the little times he's come on, like that one tackle he did. Well, I'll love him forever for that. Can't remember who it was against. But I think it's the one chance he got was against Stoke, and I just don't think it was a game for him. I don't think it was a game for a lot of players that game. But unfortunately for him, he come in, so it was inevitable that would just take him back out. We'll see. We ain't seen enough of him to make much of a judgment, to be honest with you, mate. So this Tanaka thing, I don't know about it. So we'll see what happens in the summer.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what happened to the last Japanese international that we signed? He never played for us, did he, really? Bielsa got shot of him as soon as he came in.
Coming and out.
In him, yeah. So, speaking of outgoings, Dortmund are sniffing around Archie Gray now. James, he ain't going anywhere, is he? Not where you were around.
They can sniff all they want, but they ain't getting anything. He's here for life, even if he doesn't want to be.
We'll just clone him. We'll just clone him. We've got his family DNA on profile, like Jurassic Park. Just go into a room, drop that, that's it.
A bit dodgy anyway from Dortmund, isn't it? Sniffing teenagers, so.
Yeah, they do it all the time, though, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, I think that if it's true, the rumor, then they're just looking for another Bellingham, aren't they? To bring somebody in, play him in their first team, and then sell him for a load of money. And maybe that they've thought, oh bloody hell, we might be onto something here. Let's sign a young English player from the Championship every year, make him good, and then bring in the dollar or the euro, should I say?
Yeah. I mean, Dortmund are very good at that, IDing players and obviously elevating their status. You see, Sancho, Haaland, Bellingham. Maybe Luke Vardy should go to Dortmund.
Maybe you should, mate.
Hearty banter. So, right. So we've had some absolute whopper. Someone called Burger King because there's a whopper missing. Marsh has been commenting, and he's had an interview with the Telegraph, and he's been saying that Leeds got worse after he left. Now, I put a meme out earlier.
Oh, and he's gone again.
Like with a guy saying,
It's a big
"What's
meme.
this? What's that?"
It's a massive meme. It freezes his brain.
Yeah, sorry, the government know that I'm spitting facts, so they have to try and censor me. I'll start again. So obviously Marsh has been chatting shit basically. And have you seen these comments, Max?
Well, to be fair, if he's chatting shit, then he should get Luke Vardy on the phone because chat shit get banged.
Mate, there you go. Chat shit get bummed. I mean, banged.
I haven't seen the comments. I saw that he said something about Radrizzani, didn't he, or the ownership at the time? But I didn't see that he said that we got worse after he left.
Yeah,
I think
he did that. Apparently, that's what he said, and that's Rad's regretted sacking him.
Yeah, the thing is with Marsh, you kind of always felt like the next game he was going to win because there was games where we scored goals, we made chances, and we just conceded every single time and lost. You always felt like it was going to be the next game. We're going to win the next one because, yes, we weren't very good, but I don't think we were absolutely horrendous when we were watching us. Like it looked like we weren't that far away from getting results, but that went on and on and on and on, and that's when you go, surely the law of averages, we must win at some point, and we just didn't. Yeah. So, but I honestly think it completely made sense because when he had his Salzburg team, he took them away to Anfield and nearly got a result, and that's what we did. We played really well against the best teams, but I think he's got no one really to blame but himself because he wasn't really willing to adapt to the league and to change up a little bit when he saw that we were getting absolutely murdered in defence. So I don't think he has anyone to blame really but himself. I mean, yes, he could have had other players, better players brought in, but and as well, I think there is an argument that the ownership made the mistakes because if they were going to sack him, they should have sacked him before January. So they got a new manager in and then recruited for that manager in January, or they should have sacked him before the World Cup. Excuse me, because that was obviously a mid-season World Cup in November, and then brought in a new manager to have that break to. So it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other of this.
Yeah, they're scared, man. They're scared. That's what it was all about. Bear in mind what you just touched on there. It was 7 games without a win when they sacked him. So. Me personally, I think you're right, Max. I think it should have sacked him before the World Cup. I mean, look at Villa. Villa were below us, and apparently Emery were too expensive for us. Now Emery's got Villa in Europe. Do you know what I mean?
I think that the whole thing comes down to the fact that Radrizzani should have sold when we finished 9th. It could have hit the highest peak and gone, do you know what? That's where I'll leave it. I can't go any further than that. 49ers, that's his old money. This is all dollars.
Poker chips.
Yeah, and that's when the changeover should have happened. But these really rich people, their egos don't allow them these things to say, okay, I've done enough. Hand the mantle on. But they have egos, don't they? And they think, no, I can do more. Or so,
especially Rads.
Yeah. So I think the whole thing comes down to that in the first place, that we should never even had that ownership, that sporting director at that time. But there's nothing we can do about it now, isn't there? We're winning games this season, so
no, we can do something about it. We can moan and moan and moan.
That's true. Until
we're tired, because that's our right as Leeds fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, James, you probably won't. I can't believe they got rid of Bielsa for Marsh.
Well, you can believe it because we were falling like a stone when he was still here. But I don't put it down to Bielsa. I put it down to the fact that we had no fucking team, no team to carry on after that 9-play finish. And as we've always said, the only people he got was Firpo and Dan James, and they were both short that season. So with Marsh, I mean, I don't think it's a case of him not adapting to the league. I just don't think he was good enough to manage in the league. I think his defensive plan is just to everyone run back and stand in the way of the goal, but didn't do anything. No one knew how to tackle. There was no structure at the back. And then, as you say, the attack was just, let's all just run towards the goal as fast as we can. But he just weren't good enough to manage in the Premier League. And I do agree that we did get worse when he left because we got relegated.
Just weren't good at all. I have it on very good authority that in the classroom he's good. Presentation wise, he could talk the talk, but as soon as he got out on the pitch, he was crap. And that's from a first team player. That's right. I've got contacts.
Is that Luke Vardy?
Luke Vardy and Juan Martinez. Shout out to Juan Martinez.
Great journalist.
Insider. So we'll leave Marsh Dog alone because he gets battered pretty much every time we're on this podcast. Another one, Jack Harrison's mum. Surely you've seen this.
Yeah, I've seen that.
James, have you
I've seen like some fans saying don't go back to Leeds, and she's just said no. I don't really read too much into it. I'm gonna give a shit.
It was some Scouse guy going.
Yeah.
And she went, no, he's not, no. Look, end of the day, like, what I'll say is his mum has no power over what Jack wants. I think has been taken a bit out of context. She's just excited to see his mum and stuff. It's not a Grimes situation where she's like, get my kid out of that club. Let's go to Dubai. You know what I mean? Grimes was shit anyway. But thoughts on that, Max? What do you think?
Yeah,
don't incriminate yourself.
It's a storm in a teacup. Much ado about nothing. It's just, I don't know. It's just silly, isn't it? I think, to be honest, I can understand why she would be like that because Leeds tried to sell him. He got to Leicester. They said, no, come back. We need you. They messed him around. They made him feel like he wasn't wanted at Leeds. And maybe if he's gone to Everton and people have made him feel like he's actually wanted there, then fair play to him because I genuinely think that a lot of the way he was treated was not great, considering the years that he's had with us, getting us promoted to the Premier League and playing as well as he did for us in the Premier League years. I thought he was one of our best players, always getting goals and assists. And yes, he was a bit inconsistent, but he gave his all every week. He saw how much he ran and all the running stats he put up. I think he was done dirty by the club. Well, the club, the powers that be at Leeds wanted to get rid of him and then bring him back again. So I'm just thinking like, fair enough, because if that was my kid and someone like if that was my kid and I wasn't a Leeds fan, you're not going to be asked about what club it is, are you?
No. Rutter's not a Leeds fan, is he? You know what I mean? Like people that come in like from Hoffenheim. Apparently, he cried when they said he was going to Leeds. You know what I mean? But Jack Harrison.
Cried.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a mock up of Luke Vardy.
You've got to
haunt me that comment's. I meant to say Varney. No. Matt Leeds says
Luke Vardy's better though.
Shut up, man. Matt Leeds says I like Harrison. He deserved Prem football. He had the years in the Prem, being our most consistent player over 3 seasons in the Prem. Now, I'll get that one there so you can read it. Prem. But
3 Prems in
I
there.
agree. He is a very good hard worker, Jack Harrison, but I don't think he helps himself in post matches and stuff like that. And like the old, are you signing a deal thing? And it's just like he just doesn't help himself. We'll move on because James has got his rollerblading lessons later on. So we'll go on to the Ipswich preview today for tomorrow. Oh, hey up! Look who's here, trying to steal some of my followers, Big Joe. Shout out to Joe, who's top content creator, and welcome to the chaos. So we're going to Ipswich. Max, I've watched your video, mate. A great video on how to defeat Ipswich. You'd say that they're architects of their own counter-attacks. Can you just tell us how much we're going to win by and how to beat them?
Yeah, so what I meant by that is that they kind of they when they play out from the back, they stick a load of their players in their own half and try and suck you into them. Careful what I say there. So all the Leeds players will come onto them, and then that's when they go, do you know,
Come on.
bang, and basically a counter attack, but they've not lost the ball or regained possession. But they've conceded 28 goals this season, which is the seventh. I got confused with this when I said it in my video as well. The seventh most in the top 10. And considering they're a team that are second and by that many points, it just means that they're very good at scoring goals, but not very good at stopping them. So, and we've seen that we can score against them. So we have that ability to counter attack after they've tried to counter attack, because they throw a lot of players forward. Leif Davis almost plays as a left winger, so they end up with 3 at the back with 2 in front of them. So we can definitely exploit them with the players that we've got on the wings. I think we've got enough to get past them, because, like I said, they're not amazing at defending. They're brilliant at going forward. But if we're going to concede tomorrow. And I know we're going to concede, but we are going to score as well.
Yeah, another 5-4 or 4-3. You know what I mean?
I
does my head
genuinely wouldn't be surprised if it's another high scoring game like that.
What really does my head in is how lucky they've been. Yeah, how lucky they've been. Like, did you see the second goal against Watford?
No, I didn't.
Basically, their centre back slipped, gave Sam Morsey the ball, and he went through and scored. And it's just
I think I might have seen that. Yeah, it's
they've been so lucky this season. It's unreal.
Things that we don't get ever.
I know, yeah. Maybe I need to go rub a tractor or something. I don't know. I don't know what it thinks. But yeah, I mean, do you expect any changes tomorrow, mate?
I'd like to see some. I can't even remember what show it was on. I do that many. I said that I'd like to see Nonto come in to the number 10 role, maybe push Piru up top. Jorginho on the wing, or Jorginho gets a little bit of a rest. Maybe now's not the time to be resting these players, but I'd like to see more of Donto, I think, is the one for me. I'd like to see more of him. I'd like to see Byron back at left back and Spence at right back. Maybe give Gray a rest and play Kamara and Ampadu in midfield. Then Gray can come on a little bit later on. But I think we need that solidity at the back. A bit of Byron, a bit of Jed Spence.
Like stuff coming out of your mouth there, mate. Honestly, you got me excited with all that. Like 1-2 in the middle, Spence on the right. Oh, say it again, Max. Say it again. Yeah, I think every time Nonto's come on recently, I just think he's got that youth about him. You know, he wants the ball, he wants to take on players. Like,
yeah,
he's literally a game changer. I mean, who would you sacrifice? And Dan James?
Well, the thing is about Dan James, we always talk about how Dan James is not effective against teams who really sit back and don't allow you any space in behind, because that's really his thing, isn't it? Running into space. But playing against a team like Ipswich, you kind of say, well, this is his type of game. But Nonto's a different type of player. Nonto's the type of player who picks up the ball and runs at somebody, whereas Dan James is the person who runs without the ball and expects a pass over the top. So it's a different, it depends. But when we're on the break, when we're on the counter attack, I think either of them would really help the situation. I think if the way we counter attack, usually, often you'll see Somerville takes it up the left hand side and leads up the whole pitch, dribbles up the whole left hand side of the pitch. And then Dan James never really does that. So that's why we attack so much up the left when we counter attack. If you had Nonto, I think he's capable of doing the same thing as what Somerville's capable of. So that gives you the whole other side of the pitch to be able to counter-attack with. So I think he offers a little bit more in that sense. But Dan James has been scoring goals, so you can't argue if he does start.
Yeah, I agree. James, we're just talking about, like, do you expect any changes for tomorrow?
I don't know, you know. I want to see Spence playing on the right, but it means then we have to put maybe Furpo on the left.
Byron's fit now, isn't he? I thought Byron was fit now.
He's always fit.
No, I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he's a good host. Would have wrote that down, but I'm sure he's still out. He's still out. Dallas is training by himself. I'm sure Farker mentioned it in his press conference. Like Byron's still out till the new year with Dallas, who's training by himself, and another player. It's probably Firpo, I think.
Shackleton.
Shackleton, yeah.
Shackleton's out, isn't he?
Firpo's been training, so
I think we'll be unchanged then.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's some stuff like that, isn't it? Yeah, like any score predictions from you, James?
Judging by the last game and judging by my usual predictions, I'm going to go 1-0 to us.
What
I'm
about you,
go
Max?
1-0.
I think 3-2 to Leeds. I think it's going to
like.
be another high scoring game, and we're going to take our chances this time. But they are as well, but just not enough. And I think we're going to win 3-2.
It almost looks like that James's tree is turning into mine. Right, see what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry, podcasters, you can't tell, but I'm pointing to both trees. But Tom Walton in the comments says 3-2.
He says 3-2 to Leeds.
Score.
They'll score first.
Yes. This honestly, this internet is terrible. Sky, sort your shit out.
You need to go and put some more coal in the burner.
Sorry, there's basically two hamsters in a wheel charging a soggy potato, which is connected into my laptop.
Luke Vardy's internet's much better than yours.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to go with... I want to say 2-1 to Leeds. I'm getting a good vibe. But then again, I got a good vibe against Coventry. But I thought Coventry, their goal was just lucky. They sat behind the ball quite a bit. And I thought we did take us foot off the gas. But I think we'll be up for this one. It's at home against the team that we're chasing. We need to, we dropped points for the past 2 games. We need to start picking up points somewhere. And they've got Leicester in 3 days' time as well, aren't they? Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the old...
Well, Boxing Day.
Boxing, yeah. The old Tractor Fox derby, as you will.
The tractor, hopefully the tractor runs over the fox.
Yeah. Oh, they're both just...
The fox gets tangled up in the tractor and they both just die.
To be honest, the best thing for us is if we beat Ipswich. So if Ipswich lose to us and then go and lose to Leicester and we win against
Preston.
Ipswich and Preston, then there's a 6-point swing available for us to like half the difference between us. So I think they're the most catchable, Ipswich. Just
to think there were 4 points in it not long ago.
Yeah.
4 or 5 points. And,
don't worry about it.
Well, that's Leeds. We all have PTSD and psychological trauma. Thanks, LUFC. Right. So
points, mate.
that pretty much covers the little quick overview. But we've got 2 more segments now, Max.
Segments.
I know what you're thinking, Max. Oh, fucking hell, more segments. Well, there's 2 more, so brace yourself, mate.
Like a caterpillar.
So what we do,
segments.
This is called Top Knob, and now what we do is we nominate people that have pissed us off and we think are top knobs. So let's get into this week's Top Knob.
Top Knob.
So
you thought frozen then, didn't you?
It's really cold in here. Sky, you're getting a strongly worded letter. I don't know what's going on. Firpo's knees are better than my internet. Sorry for all the listeners and watchers. James, I'll come to you first. Who's your top knob for this week?
My top knob this week. It's not anyone in particular. It is a bunch of people, and it's always the people that complain about playing too much football. It drives me mad when they do this, when they say, "Oh, we've got too many games, they're overload." I'm like, fuck off, mate. You're playing football for thousands of pounds a week. Shut up. I would gladly swap with any of them to play 2-3 games a week. Anybody that complains about playing too much professional football can do one.
So humans. You're nominating humans for top knob.
Humans, professional football humans, and managers.
Andrea in the comments, shout out to you, sir. Great. He's been on the. He's looking for his 4th appearance. So, DM me, bro. He says only one possible nominee this week. Put it in the comments, Andrea, who you want to nominate. Anyone else that wants to nominate, put it in the comments and we'll give them a shout out. Max, you're looking deep in thought. I know you've got one in your brain.
Well, Harrison's mum's up there, but then I've already said that I wasn't. I kind of already said that I wasn't that asked about that.
Where is she? Where? So, you got a bunk bed
up for nomination. There's Jesse Marsh as well, talking about that.
He's on bottom bunk.
Yeah. Oh, good timing. But I'm gonna say
who's on the floor? Come on,
Joey Barton.
Joey Barton.
Ooh, Joey
Has
Barton.
to be Joey Barton because he's still going on. I know it's not to do with Leeds, but it's still honestly, it's every day, and I don't follow him or anything. It just keep coming up on my timeline, and it's annoying me. So he's a knob.
He is a knob, and he's going to be this week's top knob, which means, right? Radford Zan is on 3. The second tier pod are on 2, and that's right. I called him out, and this means that Joey Barton will be on 2. So he's
someone else is nominated.
Top of the knobs, we call it. So, yeah, but I want to nominate Jesse Marsh as well because I just think he's an absolute dickhead, basically, for saying that. And Joey Bart.
Joey Bart.
Oh, Joey Bart Simpson.
So therefore, Joey Bart wins by 2 votes. Joey
turned
Bart Simpson.
Into a goat. Turned into a goat halfway through. Joey Bart.
That's the
Joey
weirdest
Barton
thing ever.
This week's.
I was seeing if there was any annoying Joey Barton tweets on my timeline then, and you just said, "Oh, you sounded like a goat," and there's just a video of a goat headbutting a woman on my timeline. It's like, oh, what's going on here?
Honestly, Andrea, Jesse Barton. Well, that's a good one.
Like Luke Vardy's dad, isn't he? Jesse Barton.
The cousins. Scouse Geordie, they are. Mm-hmm. So that means that Joey Barton, you are this week's top knob.
Top knob.
The only podcast with a groovy jingle.
Groovy jingle.
So this is the last bit of the podcast, Max. What I've done is with all the sponsor money, obviously you've seen all the sponsors and we get paid lots of money. We're actually secret millionaires. We just act poor. So what I've done, I've built.
Tends to be poor with his internet. That's poor.
I tell you, keep spinning. No breaks. You can break after. Keep spinning. Sorry, hamsters. They've got a union these days. So what I've done is I've built a supercomputer, Max, and I've called it the NALP 3000. Now what this does is generate maybe opinions or questions for you to answer, and I'll ask it to the comment section and James as well. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks for including me. Cheers, mate.
Beep boop 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 boop. James. Beep boop boop. Shush. Beep beep boop boop.
Calculating. Question found. Max, who is better, Danny or James? Just kidding. Ha ha. Human banter. Name your 3 worst Leeds players.
You know, that pesky AI. He thinks he can have human banter. So, AI these days don't know the born. So go on then, Max.
Just have I ever seen?
Ever seen, yeah. Not, you don't have to be ever. It's like, think of it as like your dream team series.
But the opposite.
Yeah. But your favourite ones that you hate.
I think Adrian's got to be up there.
Oh, really?
When I was obviously a kid when he came, and he was like, "Oh, we've got a Brazilian player. He's going to be class," and he just wasn't. He just was not good. And my abiding memory of him is just that ridiculous dive and roll across the pitch, and at a time when nobody was really talking about Leeds anymore because we were so bad, he made us go viral for how embarrassing it was, and everybody was laughing at Leeds again. And it's like, we don't need any more help with that, considering what we've done in the last 20 years or whatever. So, he annoyed me. I'm trying to think in recent years, who've we had?
I tell you what, I'll bounce between you both. Excuse me, James. Who's your first one that you hate or dislike?
Hate is a
Get him
strong
in.
word. I don't hate anybody that's represented Leeds United. Rakupka,
Oof.
he was great.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
The old
played one half,
hologram
didn't he?
hands.
Against his old team. He obviously let them in. He was obviously still on their team, weren't he? The dirty shitbag.
That's one shit keeper. Max?
Just try. Maybe in the time that he was here.
You're talking to Harrison's mum.
No, in the time that he was here, maybe Rasmus. Because
Really?
I don't hate him. I don't hate
him.
him, and he just really let me down because I really thought he was going to be a Leeds United cult hero. I thought he was going to be the Leeds United Viking. I thought he was going to be passionate. I thought he was going to be good as well. I thought he was going to be marauding forward, scoring goals, getting assists, and defending well as well. And he just didn't do any of it. And it's like he's gone to Roma, and they're all going like, "This guy's terrible. This guy's absolutely awful." And like there will be more people that I dislike more. It's just that off the top of my head, I was trying to think of maybe one of the people who went out on loan and left us at the start of this season. So he just annoyed me because I really, really had high expectations, and he broke my heart because he was terrible. It really was bad.
It's known as the Flaccid Viking on this podcast.
On this
James,
podcast.
on this old podcast, I tell you. Welcome to Yorkshire. What about you, James? Who's your second shit player?
Sean Gregan.
Taking it back.
Just the
Why?
plumber. Just looks like a plumber. I don't know. He was just bad. I don't know. He didn't look like a footballer or seem like a footballer. I'm probably remember him a lot different than he actually was, but yeah.
Oh,
I'll go for him.
Text. Oh my God, Sean, it's Gregan. He's just said, "Tell James to shut up."
I think you had his number. You weirdo.
Yeah, they always text me during this podcast. Same with Bielsa, but I can't.
Plumbers Union.
Yeah. What about you, Max? Who's your third and final rubbish Leeds player?
I'm trying to think of who's been that bad. There's a lot of players. There's a lot of players, but I'm just looking over previous years and sitting. Yeah, I'm trying to find someone who I really just.
I think my first two that come to my head is Felix Wiedwald. Right,
he was alright for a bit.
He was just awful. He was just awful, mate. He was crap. If I just put a sack of remote controls in the middle of the net, they'd have scored. They'd have saved more and scored.
You were definitely trying to think of something then and just looked and saw a remote control on the side, weren't you?
Yeah, you could say that. I've got a big sack of them here. And Wotton, Scott Wotton. And this an honourable mention is he was mentioned last week, and it was the young Manchester United scum player, Borthwick Jackson. Borthwick Jackson. I think those in recency bias, that's the thing. But what about you, James? Third and final.
There's you know what? There's a whole fucking list of players I could grab out of the air and say, but one I'm gonna pick one because at the time I thought it was a really good, shrewd signing, but it didn't turn out that way, and his name's Michael Ricketts. I thought when we got him, I thought he'd score loads of goals in the Championship, but
I thought you were going to say Jimmy Kebe then or something like that.
He was in my head as well, Jimmy Kebe. There's a few of them in my head, like Seth Johnson. There's loads.
Seth Johnson, yeah, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Is that all three from everyone?
I haven't done my third. I think Bailey Peacock Farrell's got.
I was going to say him as well.
Oh, what a shout that is!
I feel sorry for him, to be quite honest, because I don't know. He's never done anything that was actually horrendous to anyone, has he, or upset anyone. He just wasn't a very good goalkeeper, and I feel a bit sorry for him. But just in terms of how bad he was, it was just like, come on, just anyone but him in net. Just put a mannequin in net and he'd do better. Because at least he would on net.
With Peacock Farrell, it looked like someone was controlling him, like you give your sister a little go on the computer. and then they'd just be pausing for ages, and then the goal would go in, and then they'd dive. That's
Just
what
dive the complete wrong way.
yeah, that was big.
It's like that robot gif in it that you type in on Twitter or something. Just
Yeah.
the only good thing I can remember about Peacock Farrell was the penalty save against Reading, I think it was.
Yeah.
Just to but
Really
there
tried not to
have been
smile,
some.
did he?
Get some in the comments if you're still watching. Anybody see like Tom Walton here says that Brolin was shy. It's before my time is Brolin, but I believe you, Tom. I believe you.
He had a great European Championship, didn't he, Brolin, for Sweden, and then we bought him, and
yeah,
the
Leeds effect. Yeah. So that concludes this week's podcast. Max, thanks very much for coming on and putting yourself through this.
I enjoyed it. It's good.
That's your charity work done for this year. Hopefully you'll come back on. I'll pay you next time, so you're contractually obligated to come on.
Well, you've said
James,
you're a millionaire now, so
it's all in assets, not cash. It's all in assets. If not, just subscribe to my Only Dan's account. So Max, obviously you're doing
you
a
and Dan
really
James
good.
on there.
Jan Dames, as is known on this, of course, you know
Daniel
that
Farke is there.
I can't speak for shit. Max, you're doing a really good series at the moment called See, you can't even speak. Called Dream Teams, isn't it? Can you tell us who's on? Are you allowed to tell us who's on next? Allowed?
Yeah, I've just recorded one. I recorded one earlier today with LUFC Lewis Dighton or Dayton. One of them. He'll correct me on that. I can't remember which one it is.
Dighton.
But yeah, it's a journey through a lot of the years that we talked about in this podcast with us being quite shit, but some of the players that were actually enjoyable at the time. So that comes out on Wednesday. Yeah.
Good. It's a really good series. Everybody who's watching, you probably already follow and watch Max, but please go over there and follow him. He does some really good tactic stuff as well. And he does magic tricks and he's available for children's parties, I believe. Is that right?
Yes. And
don't know about that one.
She's got Jack Harrison's mum as well.
We'll have to contact the legal government for that answer. James,
the legal government.
The legal government, not the ones that not as
not the illegal government. The legal government.
James, wait till I get off this podcast. No, but thanks everyone for tuning in and putting yourselves through this. I've been Danny, he's been James, and Max has been super. Thanks very much, and we'll see you next week.